Alright, so today we're going to be talking about credit, specifically credit cards and loans, because this video is a video that, it's going to be two-sided for people. If you are stuck in it, you're going to agree 100%. But if you're not, you're going to disagree with this video. And that's perfectly fine, because what I want to do is make this video as a prevention tool, because in my belief, credit is a tool. But although it is a great tool, and I've seen people use it for good, statistically, and more likely, if you are in the middle class and you're in the poorer class, specifically if you're in middle or poor, credit is a form of poison. And I'm going to explain to you why, because if you're like me, when I was younger, I wanted to be responsible with credit. And, I started looking into the finance YouTubers. I was trying to get a head start from most people, because from what I saw back in the 2017, 2016, when I first got into actually taking care of my finances and stuff like that, was that credit is a fantastic tool. Everyone should have credit. Credit is a wonderful tool for making wealth. You get cash back. You get sign-up bonuses. You can get so many travel, free flights, and free dining and free events and all that. And they showed me all of this, guys, and I was super hyped. I was super into the credit card game back in 2016, 2017 YouTube. Back when the YouTubers were making actual finance videos and not market's gonna crash the videos, because they actually want the market to crash, guys. Don't think they're doing that just to make you guys feel safe. No, they actually want the market to crash so they can keep accumulating and increasing the wealth gap that we currently have, which is already massive. But anyway, that's another video. So yeah, guys, back then I was actually very responsible with credit, and I did really good with credit for the first 3-4 years of my life. When I first started getting a credit card was when I was 18 years old, and I got a nice credit card. And since I was watching these YouTube videos about climbing the credit card tier ladder and all this, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna build a nice credit. I'm gonna have an 800 credit score. I am going to get all the sign-up bonuses, and I'm gonna impress all the bitches with my Amex Gold card. Back then that was my mindset, guys. I didn't know how hard life could get once you get trapped by the credit card game. So yeah, if you watch the title of the video, it's probably called credit card is poison or something. And I'm gonna actually clear that up. So credit card is a tool for the wealthy. The wealthy are people that are already making a boatload of money, and for them this is a extra source of income. It's a side gig. It's a form of making money from a business that already makes money. And so I think if you're wealthy and you don't need a credit card, yeah, credit card is a fantastic tool for getting leverage on money that you were going to spend anyway, and you can make good decent money off of it. However, if you're in the middle class, or you're poor, middle class or poor, credit is a form of poison. And it is the waste bank of seeping into your finances, taking from the poor and making you guys a slave. And I know it sounds really extreme, guys, but hear me out, guys. So if you were like me, you were probably responsible when you started using credit. You were probably really responsible for the first 2-3 years, right? You were paying your credit card in full. Oh, I was spending $20 on gas, and then I would immediately pay off with a credit card, and I'll pay the credit card instantly. And yeah, I would get that 5% of 20 would be maybe $1. I get that $1 in cash back. Heck yeah, guys! I'm killing the credit card game. I'm making so much money, But eventually what's going to happen to you is that, for the banks, this is a long-term game. They don't play the short-term. In fact, they actually expect you to do very well the short-term, because what they want you is to gain trust. And they know that they have the leverage, whether if you don't pay your credit cards and you declare bankruptcy and stuff like that, that's 7 to 10 years that you will have to build credit again. And, they obviously, they're willing to risk $300. For them, that's nothing. They make that in probably an hour from work. That's just, they make 10 times $300 or whatever they make per hour. They just make a whole lot of money from all the people that are paying the interest payments and stuff like that. But anyway, they take that risk on you, and you feel privileged, so you want to actually look good, and you pay the credit cards off, and you do well for the first 2-3 years. Maybe you climb up the ladder, you get to tier 2 or tier 3 or whatever. But eventually what's going to happen if you're middle or poor class is that you're going to have an emergency. You're going to have an impulse. Maybe something will happen where, inflation will go up really high, and your expenses are not going to be keeping up with, your wages are not going to keep up with your expenses. And this year, for example, where people started using credit cards to live off of them. And if you're already doing this, you're still early. You can get out of that trap. But, people that have been doing this for a while, and you will know that slowly but surely, once you delay an emergency, once you use a credit card to finance something you can't afford, Let's say maybe you have maybe you have something really bad. You need to fix a tire. Maybe you have family members that you care of, because most people care about their family, stuff like that. And you buy and your niece or a family member something they want, and you use a credit card because you just simply can't afford it, right? That's when they get you. That's when they poison your finances. That's when the banks goes into your finances and just I'm sorry if I get censored from YouTube, but you know what I mean, right? You are screwed. And if you're early enough, like most people, maybe you're early because you start doing it this year, maybe because of how hard the economy is getting. You're still early, guys. If you have the money in savings, take that credit card, chop it in half, like cut it, throw it away, and don't use credit until your finances or the economy gets good again. If you can have money in the stock market, and you don't have to worry about it, like, okay, you're doing okay. But if you are like most Americans and you don't even have $1,000 in savings, because the statistics say that most Americans don't even have $1,000 in savings, and you have credit cards, you are literally the bank's little bitch. You are completely screwed, guys. The banks every month, they come in, they get their share. They literally just say, haha, you're very charitable, guys. You're a very generous giver. You're doing step 7, but for the banks, if you look at the Dave Ramsey, you're a very generous giver. Oh my God, you're killing it, bro. The banks every month, if you have one credit card for $1,000, they get $200 a month. The average interest is 20%, right? So they get $200 every single year from you, from the $1,000. So, if you realize that the computers depreciate way more than 20%, so you're not making any profit. You're getting screwed by the banks and by the depreciation of the asset. You're getting completely wrecked, guys. And, it can get really bad because I've seen horror stories where people end up like financing groceries, putting them on credit cards. Financing vacations. If you finance a vacation, oh my God, guys, I'm so sorry. That is setting up for failure. And like I said, if you're still early and you have the money in savings, even if you have the money invested, like with the way the economy's getting, even if it fully recovers, guys, the APR on credit is so high that I'd rather you pay the credit card off than actually invest in the stock market. I'd rather you do that than, to do. That's why I made a video on the credit, on the stock market as a survival game, guys. The point of this current market is to survive, try to make it till the end, minimize your expenses, maximize your income, try to provide value to the economy. I even went to the extreme, guys. I literally sold everything, and now I'm literally preparing myself to live in a van. I still have a month or so to prepare the van, but I'm even preparing the floor tiles, you can see right there. And obviously I don't have a lot of money. I'm trying not to spend any money, because what I want to do is I want to buy the market low. The market is going to probably keep falling. If it goes up temporarily, good for you. I already have money invested in the stock market, guys. I'm not selling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to increase my income 2, 3, 4x times so I can keep buying the market. But that's not the point of this video. So in conclusion, guys, this is just the first ladder of misery for people that the banks get into your your financial life, and they just ruin you, guys. They ruin you from the inside. Because if you fall for this habit, what's gonna happen is that you're going to keep delaying issues. Anytime you have a small issue, or maybe you don't have enough, maybe you went a little bit over your budget, you're gonna keep using the credit card, and you're gonna keep increasing that snowball that's against you. And if you have multiple credit cards, like most of these people that try to play the credit card game, you're gonna have 10 different credit cards, for one for this, one for that, one for this. Oh man, it can get really bad, guys. It can get so bad, and it happens so quickly because it goes under your nose, right? You're paying the minimums, you don't care about it, and the next thing you know, you have so much credit against you, guys, and you're just being destroyed financially. And you might be like most people, maybe you have $4,000 or $5,000 in credit card, and then you're like, oh, I'm paying interest on it, so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna put it in a credit card and do a balance transfer to that I don't have to pay any interest, and I'm gonna pay that off. Yeah, that's what you're gonna do, right? You're already paying 3% on that, by the way. What you're going to do is you're gonna put that on the credit card, and then you're gonna realize, oh wait, I'm playing the credit card game. I can get 5% cash back if I use this credit card, and you're going to fill up the other credit card again, and then you're gonna create an even bigger snowball of interest where the banks are gonna be. You're gonna be very charitable, guys. You're going to pay the banks for money they don't even need, because they're multi-trillion-dollar companies. They don't need your money, but they'll still take it. You're very charitable. You give it a charity, but you're giving a charity to the couch, to the income that the people that are making money up on the CEOs that just sit on a computer or a chair all day, do nothing. And if it can get really bad, guys, imagine you're doing personal loans, because eventually once the transfer card is full, you're going to go for personal loans. Oh, I'll do the personal loan, I'll pay it off. And you know, it can get way worse than that. After that, you're doing personal loans, balance transfers, and credit cards, and oh my gosh, you're gonna get destroyed. You're gonna be a bank's, you're literally gonna be the bank's slave, guys. And you know, I'm lucky that I'm willing to do this by myself, but some people have family, you know, maybe you have family members and you guys got yourself into this, a small rabbit hole, maybe $4,000 or $5,000 in credit card debt, and now you're paying like $60-$70 a month. But what if you have it divided into like 5-6 different credit cards? Now you're paying $200-$300 a month, and all of the banks take their fair share of interest, which, you know, you only pay like a little percentage of the balance, and they get the interest every month. It can get really bad, guys. And you know, people that do cars as well, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna make a video on cars and how they can screw you up early if you're not careful. Yeah, there's so many, like, this market is all credit, so it's very like scary to look at that. I mean, it's not your fault, to be fair. Like, humans are just not designed to take care of money, and that's why I personally think it's better to take care of income first, make as much money as possible, and invest money so you can make money from it. But you know, if you want to know more about that, you should check out the other videos on the channel. But anyway, guys, just know this is just a final warning for you guys. Please be careful with credit. Again, if you're middle or low class, and what I consider middle or low class is that you have no savings, you rely on a wage slave job, which is a job that you have to do to make a living, or your investments are under $100,000, you are middle or low class. I don't care if you have a house, I don't care if you make $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month. If you don't have these basic 3 things, you are poor in my book, or middle class, and you don't need credit. Credit will be a poison for you guys. They will get you slowly, and once they do, like I said, they will screw you for years and years and years, until you declare bankruptcy, or until you somehow become really wealthy and you can pay all it off. And you know, it's sad, because you know, that's how they get you guys. They play the long game on you, you know. It happened to me. I had to throw away my life and live in a van for a couple years. I'm getting ready to do that, guys. But I know once I do and I build the wealth and things go well, like, I'm going to be able to pay that all off, and I'll never use credit again. Maybe I will. Maybe once I get wealthy enough, I might get one credit card and use it for a general 2-3% cashback card. But right now, that's the last thing I need. I'm not even using credit cards, not even to breed, guys. I could use it to doing side gigs and stuff like that, pay the gas and stuff like that. Nope, I'm not doing it. I literally declared a war against credit. I'm not using it. I paid off as much of it as I could with the money that I had that I was gonna put on dividends, and I'm doing a fresh start. So, you know, just giving you guys a warning on this. I know it's pretty scary, especially if you're already in debt. If you can pay it off, just do it, guys. Just cut the credit cards and pay it off, you know. So for all those big people that you see on YouTube that are making videos on how many points they're getting, or how many sign-up bonuses, or how many free trips they got, just know that in order for them to get a share of the banks, because, you know, points are essentially just the bank giving you a little bit of what they actually make, all the middle class people and all the poor people that are paying interest are paying for those trips. Not the banks. The banks are just sharing profits with the people that actually are financially wealthy enough to play, like, to turn credit into a tool and not a form of poison. So for those people that do the flights and do the bonuses and do the cash back and all that money that you're getting, if you're not paying it back in interest, some like poor person, some middle class person that probably needed to change a tire, probably needed to buy a computer from an impulse, maybe they couldn't control it, you know, they needed a computer for their business that they wanted to build and it's not profitable. For all those people, those rich people are essentially, they're living off of those poor people. And I don't know about you, but that is the most dystopian thing I've ever heard. So don't fall into that trap, guys. Credit is a tool for the wealthy, but for middle class people like you and me, it's just a form of poison. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it helped you out, and I hope it scared the heck out of you, because if it scared you, I did my goal, guys. You don't ever want to be a slave to credit. If you want to have a credit card, make sure you have that money invested, and that dividend that you get is this is your credit limit. That is the only way I would do credit cards. So if you want a $1,000 credit card, you need to be making at least $1,000 a month in dividends, or $1,000 a month from a side income that you're not constantly managing, like maybe a YouTube channel or something. But again, if you have to work at something you don't like, a side gig or a wage slave job for that $1,000, don't use a credit card, guys. Don't be trapped in, you know, by the big banks and the wealthy people that they are enjoying that lifestyle because of you. Don't let that be you, guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.